You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
Is this real life? I feel crazy. The world is spinning around me. What's happening? You have 4 eyes. I have 2 fingers.
That opening immediately sets the tone. This doesn't feel like another small celebrity feud or random internet drama. It feels calculated, direct, almost personal. Cent isn't just calling out Diddy. He's hinting that the story surrounding him may go much deeper than most people originally believed. And once that tone is established, everything starts feeling heavier. Suddenly, this stops sounding like surface-level gossip and starts feeling like part of a much bigger picture, still unfolding in real time.
Turn 16. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So, every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, fun shot.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15, you could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
16.
You're not ready. Slow down. Let's slow down, Justin.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours. When you get 16, you're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Alright.
Then, when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion? Yeah. So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
We're going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you want to do? What you want to do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking.
And that confusion people feel online right now, that's not accidental. This is exactly how modern celebrity narratives evolve. Old interviews resurface. Forgotten clips go viral again. Rumors people ignored years ago suddenly collide with new allegations all at once. And when that happens, public perception changes. Fast. Moments that once felt harmless suddenly look different. Comments nobody questioned before begin carrying new meaning. Because now people aren't just looking at isolated moments anymore. They're connecting dots. And once audiences start doing that, the entire story begins shifting in ways nobody expected.
That's been saying for years, this man is having sex with underage. So now the federal government is looking at that like, yo, when is somebody gonna come forward? We got this information, this alleged information, but nobody's willing to come forward. Then they go on and say, yo, Shakur Stewart mysteriously dead. Supposed to be a self-inflicted wound. Person that had everything going for them in their life. Kim Porter dead. Somebody's car gets blown up. This guy is walking around threatening other actors, people. Somebody got to get involved in it. If it ain't the state, let it be the feds. Somebody got to stop him. He lucky that God given him the opportunity to be stopped while he's alive, didn't have to go to hell and face that shit. He got a chance to repent now, change his life.
You mentioned minors, you know, and a lot of people have been trying to drag Justin Bieber into this situation because there's a lot of like suspect looking videos with Diddy and Bieber in it, and you know, they're making a lot of...
And this is where the narrative really locks into place, because now all three names are tied together in the public conversation at the same time. Cent becomes the voice pushing the discussion forward. Diddy remains at the center of the controversy, and Justin Bieber becomes the name that makes the entire situation harder for people to ignore. That combination is powerful because the story never loses focus. Instead of feeling scattered or chaotic, the script keeps everything connected while constantly pulling viewers back to the same core tension surrounding Diddy. That's what keeps the momentum alive.
You know, Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, you know, he could buy you one also.
Got me a Lamborghini. And
Yeah. Oh, well, that's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Oh, apparently not.
Everything ain't for everybody. I heard that it's not. That's not only the tape that's being shot. There's some other tapes out there, other people too with him, and him doing some things with some other people. So there's quite a few tapes that might be out there, what they're hearing, and I don't want to see the tapes, but I want to know if they really true. Because if they got if they got some tapes out there and it's with some underage, whether it's celebrities or not, it's gonna be crazy, bro. It's gonna be real crazy. And they're gonna have to bring that to forefront because the prosecutor's gonna want those tapes. And they're gonna do whatever they have to do legally to get those tapes. No ifs, ands, and buts about it. So we just better hope for his sake.
This is one of those clips the internet keeps revisiting over and over again. At the time, most people brushed it off as harmless celebrity fun, nothing serious, nothing unusual, but context changes everything. Now, with Diddy facing intense public scrutiny, and with 50 Cent continuing to amplify the conversation, people aren't watching that footage the same way anymore. The tone feels different. The subtext feels darker. And once Justin Bieber becomes attached to that conversation, those old clips suddenly carry a completely different emotional weight. Not because they prove anything on their own, but because the surrounding narrative has changed.
If he's bigger than Diddy, and he's not none of the names that I said, probably so. But then they say he was young too.
Yeah, they say he was young.
Let me get his name right. I hope it ain't the Bieber. I hope it's not the Bieber.
That's a good one. It might be him. But if they saying that the guy is young and he's an A-lister, I can't think of that many black people, man.
Right. Not at all. and somebody that's more powerful, more of a celebrity than Diddy. You understand what I'm saying? If they were saying somebody that was more celebrity than Diddy, he was an A-lister, he was younger. You know what I'm saying? And if he's not black, it would have to be the Bieber. That's his name, Bieber? They said I got that wrong too. Justin Bieber, allegedly. I don't know, bro.
Right. But when you heard the news that Diddy, he had a cheat with another man, did that catch you by surprise or no?
Well, all this shit is by surprise to me. A lot of this shit is by surprise to me, to be totally honest, man. Because I knew Puff, I knew Puff Daddy, I knew Diddy before he was Love and Brother Love and back to Diddy. So, no, but the diddler, he's the diddler now. A lot of it's surprising, but it's not unheard of. Because you hear of all kinds of shit, and whether it registered with you or you internalize it or something like that, that's a whole nother story. But a lot of this stuff is crazy. But this is the world that we live in now, man. That these individuals thinks is all right. Bruh.
And that's really the bigger point this entire story keeps building toward. It's no longer just about Diddy alone. Now, the focus expands into the kind of industry environment surrounding young celebrities like Justin Bieber, and why voices like 50 Cent suddenly sound more relevant today than they did years ago. That's where the tone becomes more serious. Not because every allegation has been confirmed, but because people are now looking back at years of rumors, silence, and unanswered questions through a completely different lens. And when all those elements get layered together, the situation starts feeling less like isolated incidents and more like a pattern people believe may have been overlooked for years. That's exactly the space 50 Cent keeps pushing into whenever Diddy's name comes up, but this is also where things need to be handled. Carefully, claims involving exploitation, money, or individuals like Justin Bieber and Usher are extremely serious allegations involving real people. And without verified evidence, those claims should be treated as speculation, not fact. So the script isn't trying to prove anything. It's showing how public perception evolves when old moments get revisited under new scrutiny.
He fizzled out fast too.
So would you say someone like Justin Bieber's a victim? I just seen he is reportedly selling his whole catalog because he's broke.
Yeah. Yeah. And once he finishes getting that money, I don't understand why he's broke. He didn't have to be broke. Usher just wouldn't stop robbing him.
Damn.
I mean, Usher couldn't keep his hands out of his pocket. It's funny. He got him signed and turned over custody to Diddy. Boy was never the same, and neither was Usher's pockets, because Usher's been living off of Justin Bieber's money. He ain't been living off of his own. Because the truth is, Usher don't really make that kind of money. And I'm really just kind of sick and tired of Usher reigning.
Yeah,
I'm really kind of disgusted with Usher Raymond, who does Greek wrestling nude with men over Frosted Flakes, allegedly. Like, I'm sick and tired of this guy who everyone knows got the Diddy bumps, who's been sued for passing them on and lost, is still sitting there disgracing women in front of their men who bought the tickets to like that whole skis.
He's causing a lot of divorce courts.
But why? He don't even want them. He don't want them women. He's literally doing it just to destroy relationships.
And that distinction matters, because this section is ultimately built around commentary. suspicion and public interpretation, not confirmed evidence. Still, it explains why Diddy's public image has become increasingly associated with darker conversations over time, and why figures like 50 Cent continue arguing that the entertainment industry ignored too much for too long. The mention of Justin Bieber expands the emotional impact of the story, but the script quickly shifts focus back to Diddy while using 50 Cent as the framing voice, guiding the audience through the narrative. That structure is important because it keeps the story controlled instead of chaotic. The script never gets trapped on one accusation or one headline. Instead, it keeps rotating between major figures while maintaining one continuous thread underneath everything.
A video of an interview of Justin Bieber, and he was talking about Billie Eilish. And he was like, he was broke, almost in tears. He's like, I just want to protect her. I just want to keep her safe.
Yeah.
What do you think he went through?
Because he knows what's been happening to Billy. Just like everybody knew what was happening to Millie Bobby Brown, girl, with Drake. These people are monsters.
Jermaine Dupri said something interesting. He said the reason that R&B isn't as powerful as it is anymore is because children are going to church.
Yeah.
What is it about the transfer from the spiritual to the secular do you believe that's what made R&B so powerful?
Understand this. Rhythm and blues was a combination of gospel and soul music. Because soul music has always been around in one form or another. It's just evolved throughout the years. And you got gospel, rhythm and blues. That's what put that together. That's why they made such a big stink about the Ray Charles incorporating gospel sounds into secular music. Because they wanted people to separate the two. This is demon, this is good. The truth is none of that's real. There is no bad, there is no good. There is what is and there is what is not. And that's sad. But when you take the spirit that comes from that, and see, in church they preach love, they preach love, they preach love. And God is love. The love that we experience, everything that we do, all of that is just a derivative from the endorphins that come from the relationship with God. It's all there. When you go and you sit in a place and you hear a song sung and it quickens you in your soul and you feel stirred up, how the hell can just a sound coming out of a mouth create all of that? That's God. So when you take God out of society, all you're left with are emotions, impulses, instincts. And that's what the fuck we got.
Right.
In music. He's absolutely right. If you take God's love out of something, all you're stuck with is the rudimentary shit. The sludge, fucking Gollum running around. My precious. You know, that's what you got.
And now, Jack, you spoke on Piers Morgan saying that you used to be in this world.
Yeah.
Of the sex worker world, and you've seen kind of the depravity that the human mind could go to.
At its core, this is really about reinterpretation. Old public moments are now being viewed through a completely different lens than before, and that shift changes everything. Because once Diddy's image comes under heavier scrutiny, people naturally start revisiting older footage connected to him. At the same time, clips involving Justin Bieber continue resurfacing online, while 50 Cent increasingly positions those moments as part of a broader industry conversation rather than simple celebrity gossip. And this is exactly how online narratives expand. Old content resurfaces, interpretations evolve, speculation grows, and over time, assumptions can begin feeling more real than the actual evidence supporting them. That's why it's important to frame this as perception, not confirmation. Still, Viewers continue trying to connect timelines, relationships, and industry dynamics after the fact, and as more names enter the discussion, including figures like Usher, the story naturally grows larger in the public. Imagination. What makes this narrative powerful isn't proof, it's momentum. It's the speed at which storytelling evolves once audiences begin reinterpreting the past through present-day controversy.
Listen, bro. Just doing law enforcement myself, just take for instance. I think the individual was a Syracuse former basketball player named Jason Barnes or Beard or something like that. He already had drug charges against him. The day Diddy house get raided, they catch him getting on a plane and they put him into custody. Didn't that sound a little weird? People didn't catch that. They either put him in custody for a couple of reasons. You understand? One, to make a witness out of him, or to safeguard him and protect him for anything that could happen to him, because they had already stated, allegedly, that he was some kind of mule for the people over there at Diddy's house. So now, with that information, that he was already known by the government for drug charges, wouldn't that be an individual that you use? I'm gonna give you something different. And I'm gonna give you something else that people don't even think. On the other day, I seen on the video that Puff had ran into Justin Bieber. They met up and he started tapping him as if he was searching him and see if he had some kind of device on. Did you see that?
Yep.
Check this out. What if the federal government have already talked to Justin Bieber? And Diddy did that on tape. That means in his mind, he think this person may be a witness. Right?
Yep.
What he has just done that is against the law?
Nothing that we've seen.
Tampering with a federal witness. If they have already talked to Justin Bieber prior to him doing that, he goes and look like he's searching him. It appears that he's asking Justin Bieber, yo, you got a wire or something like that? Like, you're tampering with a federal witness. That's a charge right there that can land him in jail. Reckless. That was real reckless.
Man, it's gonna be kind of crazy to see everything unfold, man. Well, if worse comes to worse and Diddy has to do some time, how do you think he's gonna handle it?
Usually individuals acclimate themselves into situations and they do the best that they can do. I just don't think him being a free spirit and off drugs, once he gets into that situation, that he'll handle it that well. I could be wrong.
A lot of people believe he's going to end himself.
Well, I heard him say that before when that City College incident happened. He was talking like that back then. Because he thought it was a possibility that he would be going to jail. He lost his job at Uptown. So He's done a lot of things, been a lot of places. I don't think he...
And this is where the emotional tone shifts again. Because once Justin Bieber is perceived as more guarded or reflective instead of carefree, audiences naturally begin reevaluating older moments connected to him. People start asking new questions. What was happening behind the scenes? Why do certain interactions feel different now? Why do old clips involving Diddy suddenly carry more weight in hindsight? And this is exactly why 50 Cent becomes such an important part of the narrative structure. Without him, the story would feel like random clips, scattered rumors, and disconnected speculation. But with 50 Cent acting as the recurring voice driving the discussion forward, the narrative gains direction and continuity. He becomes the thread tying everything together. In that framing, the script leans heavily into the idea that Diddy remained protected from scrutiny for years, while the inclusion of names like Justin Bieber intensifies public curiosity surrounding what people saw, what went unspoken, and what may have been normalized behind the scenes. Again, none of this confirms wrongdoing. But from a storytelling perspective, it explains why these conversations continue growing. Online, the names involved are massive. The archive of old footage is enormous, and audiences are now revisiting those moments with a far more critical perspective than before. That combination keeps the narrative alive. And as Justin Bieber continues appearing within that broader discussion, the perceived stakes only grow larger, not because it proves anything directly, but because it connects the past to the present in a way audiences find impossible to ignore. Ultimately, this story isn't really about solving one allegation. It's about understanding why these narratives continue spreading, why Diddy remains under scrutiny, why 50 Cent keeps pushing the conversation forward, and why older moments involving Justin Bieber continue resurfacing as people try to reinterpret the past in hindsight.